Mysterious fast radio signals from deep space could be aliens.
Section 51.
Section 51.
Section 51.
Hi everyone, what's up? I am GH aka DOZgeek. It's nice to be back here with you on Section 51. And thank you again for your kind comments. Apparently the new video format seems to be please you, and that's really cool. Today we are gonna talk about deep space and radio signals. Hey, did you hear the latest news? Scientists have recently discovered mysterious signals coming from a galaxy 1.5 billion light years away. They were picked up by a telescope in Canada. The precise cause of the blasts of radio waves is unknown, and there are a number of theories about what could be causing them. Some even say that it could be some form of alien spaceship. In fact, Earth is being bombarded with mysterious invisible light. Among the typical array of radio signals and microwaves cast out by distant stars, black holes and other celestial bodies, there exists a brand of intergalactic light that consistently boggles scientists' minds and their instruments. These signals are known as fast radio bursts, or FRBs. These ultra-strong, ultra-bright radio signals last only a few milliseconds and are thought to originate from billions of light years away, though their precise source is unknown. And the alien option doesn't seem to be excluded. So the mystery is partially owed to a lack of data, since astronomers first discovered FRBs in 2007, only about 60 have been observed. Now those numbers are growing fast, and according to two new papers published today in January 2019, scientists working at the Chime, Canadian Hydrogen Intensity Mapping Experiment, the Chime radio telescope in the hills of British Columbia, have detected 13 new FRBs in just a 2-month span. Among these newly captured signals are 7 bursts that registered at 400 MHz, the lowest FRB frequency detected so far, and for only the second time ever, an FRB that flashed repeatedly 6 times in a row. Until now, there was only one known repeating FRB, according to Ingrid Stairs, a member of the Chime team and an astrophysicist at the University of British Columbia. With more repeaters and more sources available for study, they may be able to understand these cosmic puzzles, where they are from and what causes them. Scientists have a few theories about those origins. Previous studies have suggested that FRBs may be the remnants of distant supernovas or radiations poured out by supermassive black holes. Even A.V. Loeb, a scientist at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, who was not involved in the discovery, has said that we shouldn't rule out artificial origins like the pulses of an alien spacecraft. So, these newly discovered signals could help scientists get closer to an answer. For starters, the existence of repeating FRBs like the one captured last year could rule out some possible origins. These repeating signals flashed from the same spot in the sky 6 times over the course of several months and from an estimated 1.5 billion light-years away. According to the study authors, this delayed repetition rules out cataclysmic events like supernovas, as a likely source of the repeated blasts, as bursts from an exploding star would be expected to happen just once. Moreover, the Chime team's new discoveries suggest that FRBs are probably far more common than current technology is able to reflect. The fact that 7 of the new bursts registered at 400 MHz, the lowest frequency the Chime telescope is able to detect, suggests that FRBs with even lower frequencies are likely zipping past our planet all the time. We just aren't able to see them yet. Obviously, this news makes me think of Nikola Tesla, who could have unintentionally detected signals from another civilization from space in 1899, as we can read in few scientific reports and books. Those who knew him say he was not a normal human, but a superman, even an ET with superior mental powers placed here to assist in Earth's technological development. Nikola Tesla could have gone down in history as the man who invented the 20th century. Instead, his theories were ridiculed and he died alone in a hotel bedroom. Mostly, he did not improve on already existing technology, but he created prototypes and sometimes entire new industries. Tesla was the first to attempt to communicate with neighboring worlds using radio waves. In 1899, he was at his laboratory in Colorado Springs, driving monstrous surges of power into the Earth and also beaming energy outward from the 280-foot tower it built. He had instruments to record electromagnetic disturbances anywhere within a radius of 1,100 miles. It was an experiment of Frankensteinian proportions. During the tests, Tesla began picking up odd data on his instruments. He was sure that this was a signal of some sort. The signals came periodically and with such a clear suggestion of number and order that they were not traceable to any cause then known to man. He said that he was familiar with such electrical disturbances as are produced by the sun, aurora borealis and earth currents, and he was as sure as he could be of any fact that these variations were due to none of these causes. He was firmly convinced that a purpose was behind these signals. For him, they were the results of an attempt by some human beings, not of this world, to speak to us by signals. He even pretended to be able to demonstrate that with an expenditure not exceeding 2000 horsepower, signals can be transmitted to a planet such as Mars with as much exactness and certitude as people could send messages by wire from New York to Philadelphia. These means were the result of long-continued experiment and gradual improvement. Following his experiments, he claimed he had detected an artificial signal from Mars, or possibly Venus, using high-voltage equipment he had set up at Colorado Springs in Colorado. He also predicted that interplanetary communication would become the dominating idea of the 20th century. After informing the world of these signals, he would neither discuss the devices he used nor the signals any further. However, the issue was further researched according to a report entitled A Historic Report on Life in Space with Tesla, Marconi and Todd, mentioned by Stanton T. Friedman, a nuclear physicist and the best-known scientific ufologist in North America and probably the world. The purpose of the paper was to examine the original data of Tesla, Marconi and Todd to determine whether or not current science was duplicating the effort made by these men to detect radio frequency communication from extraterrestrial life forms on some distant planet. Did Tesla's experiments transmit radio signals to some of our nearer planets. According to Su Shu Wang of the Institute of Advanced Study at Princeton, stars nearly identical to the Sun are most likely to have developed life. Had Tesla unintentionally detected signals from another civilization, or did he simply make an error? Probably, we'll never know. Because of his financial problems, we have to say that he was not a good businessman, but a true scientist. The large part of his research notes and other papers were auctioned off after his death. What happened to his other research papers? How much of Tesla's work remains hidden and confiscated? Moreover, much of his scientific work of great value has been lost forever. However, for the moment, scientists are still planning on studying the radio waves and hope that this new discovery will allow them to answer the mystery of what deep space might be trying to tell us. We'll be back really soon. Open your eyes, watch the sky, live long and prosper.